Hello, my name's Jim Moran, and thanks very much for joining us for Rounding Up the Resources. You can reach me at jim@simplifyiso.com or over here on our website with this handy contact button. Clause 7, the support clause, outlines everything you'll need to produce your product or deliver your service in the way of support. You'll find, first of all, it talks in general terms about having the correct resources, and 7.1.2 talks about people. Of course, they need to be motivated, they need to be competent, and they need to be given the support from top management that they need to be energized, engaged, and motivated to do the best that they can for your company. 7.1.3 talks about infrastructure, and both of these things will end up in your clause 4.1 context as well. Infrastructure is, of course, one of the main building blocks of any organization, whether you're a service or a manufacturer. Without the right equipment, without fast enough computers, without enough printers, good workflow on the floor, you don't stand much of a chance of getting the product out the door or delivering the service that your client is after. Make sure you include people and infrastructure in your risk assessment in clause 6.1 as well. The next part of the resource, of course, is work environment, 7.1.4. You'll notice this version of the standard talks about psychological environments as well, and it talks about freedom from stress. It talks about a good, healthy working environment for your employees. Make sure you have the Health and Safety Committee in action as well, but the emotional well-being of your employees is just as important as their physical well-being. 7.1.5 is the calibration program, and 7.1.6 is the organizational information clause. You'd expect to put things in there about how the organization operates generally, not specific work instructions or standard operating procedures, just the information in general that would help an employee get from point A to point B if they needed it. You'll see then in 7.2 the word competence. Make sure that you assess the effectiveness of any training that you do or any other actions you take to intervene where you've detected a gap between a person's competence and the requirements of the activities that they're doing. 7.3 talks about awareness. And you'll also notice a very important clause here, the clause persons working under the organization's control, and now includes subcontractors or anyone else working on your behalf. 7.4 is communication, and it talks about who you're communicating to, why you're going to do the communication, when, different parts of communicating that are very important to consider. Remember that famous phrase? Communication is a synonym for life, and the communication includes internal communication as well. And finally, 7.5 is the document control area, and you all know by now that there are two verbs. Maintain documented information. This refers to things that could change, procedures, policies, objectives, risk information, all that sort of thing can change, so you maintain it just like you maintain a car. The other verb used with documented information is retain. This applies typically to things that we used to refer to as records. And one of the key components is that unintentional changes cannot be made. That takes care of the resource clause. Feel free to ask me anything about resources. I'll try to help the best way I can. And if you'd like to see how our platform can help you manage your resources, just use this big green button here, and we'll spend 10 or 15 minutes together to see if it might be a fit for you. If you look down below the video, you'll see a link to our training course, ISO 9001 Essentials. Thanks very much for having a look, and I hope you can join us next time for Smooth Operator. Bye for now.